in this dogmatic paradigm. So you have, like in Matrimandir, the white light comes from above. If you focus on top of your head, you feel the white light is coming from very, very, very high above you. Just let the body relax now. Let the body relax. And you focus on the top of your head. Whether you are sitting or lying down, you have a alignment in the body. Everything can relax. There is nothing which has to hold tension in order for you to be okay. You feel that white light coming down, coming from very, very high up. Feel how it's coming so high up that you actually can't see where it's coming from, but it's coming down, it's pulling down. Now we're going to look at the light inside our body, and we're going to have some conversations with ourselves. I will guide you with this, following my own experiences. When you do this yourself, you have your own conversations. You are unique, your contribution to the world is unique. It needs for you to come. You have it all inside yourself. All the knowledge is there. Just have to have space that it can come up. And these tools help for that. So now we go to the forehead. The colors are purple. A red purple and a more blue like lilac. These are the two colors which covers purple. We can kind of, because we have two colors, we can kind of let it form a color that we are comfortable with, which is within that spectrum of the purple. Now what are the two qualities which are connected with the purple color? It is generosity and equality. Generosity and equality. Generosity, we talked about this yesterday, can dissolve things in a very, very short, almost timelessness. Generosity can dissolve. Generosity is very contagious, very contagious. Equality, each one should have what they need for their full growth, their full development, and their full expression in life. Now we look at the mind. The mind is not the fountain of knowledge. The divine takes knowledge, it has memory, it connects. I would say it's a system builder. You put things together in your mind and you get your view, you get your opinion. You build systems with it. Always slightly different from everybody else. So when somebody says something and we are shy, we say, I think like him. I agree with her. But actually our expression is unique because we see it with the knowledge we have gathered and where we are at in our consciousness. It's important to know I am valuable. What I see, I can see the truth and I can see the light. And I can have equanimity and I can have love. I can do all these things. So we are looking now at this mind here, which are doing the systems. And we look at power and equality. Very close together. Equality is connected to the garden of wealth. Money should no more be the sovereign rule. And we look at the world, but right now it's like a race. You have money, you have power. You can rule a whole country if you put that in motion and do it well on that level. Okay? You can do what you want. And you need people. And you need people who are uneducated. And you need people who will just follow. So what is this that is happening? If I see that generosity and equality are key qualities connected to the mind, what does that mean? with power. What would be the influence of generosity if it was a tool really used in understanding power? Generosity has a third quality. Generosity is fearless. In the moment when there is spontaneous, generous action happening, you neither calculate or look at it or hold back. You just say, I can do this here. In power, the way the paradigm is today is full of fear and control. These are two key elements, fear and control. Greed, of course, and all that too. So what does the new paradigm look like? If our systems relating to power, governance, and economy, if those have as key powers in them generosity and equality, what is it we need to do? This is a conversation you must have with yourself. How does it look if that is there? And what do we need to do? What do I need to do? First of all, I need to work with this to understand. I need to go back again and again and learn to read in myself, to listen to myself, to have receptivity to hear, really, because I know what is right. I know it's in my body and my being. I know what is happening is not right. How do we do this? How do we create new systems which are built, all of them, having inside themselves generosity and equality as core? Huge change. Very important. Work on this inside yourself. Take time when you wake up in the morning. Take one chakra. Look at this. Speak with yourself. Have conversations with your inner being, with the different parts, with your mental, with your vital. See where there is blocks in yourself. You can work on it like this. It's a very fast way of working with it. Now we will go to the next chakra, which is the throat chakra. The colors are blue. The deep blue of peace and the light blue of sincerity. This space here, this chakra, is about communication. It's all our interaction. It's how we speak, what we write, it's the news, it's the newspapers, it's the TV, it's the internet, and it is all the body language. It's the language in the family. And it's the body. The body also speaks. We get uptight. We look different. The face gets stiff. All of this is communication. Now what happens if the new paradigm says that communication has to have as its core peace and sincerity? The gardens are the gardens of progress and utility. Utility, everybody needs to be needed. Everybody needs to be useful. Unity, unity in diversity. What does this look like? It's the absolute extreme opposite today. So, go inside yourself, have a conversation in this chakra with yourself about the new paradigm, peace and sincerity. Everybody needs to be needed, everybody is useful. Inclusiveness. That is the key for progress at this time. Everybody is needed, everybody must be allowed to be useful. Everybody should have what they need. How is communication used to reprogram us from what we have seen in the forehead chakra about power and wealth? Now this is communication. We build a system, we communicate it through everything, through our whole being. How do we get there? We start by getting to know ourselves and getting to see how it is, because as long as we justify something, as long as we say there is a reason why it's okay, it's not going to change. So can we have that very open and honest conversation with all the parts of our being, and encourage every part of the being to participate, to comfort the parts which are scared. Say, I'm adult, I see this, come sit with me here, I will look after you, don't have to fear. It's not about going out and shouting from the rooftops, it's about shifting it inside yourself and shifting your habits. Some old habits simply have to be thrown out. They don't feel any function. We're just carrying them like dead weight. They make us do things that we regret also. They don't belong anymore. That branch is dead, let it go. See the new leaves coming, see the new patterns coming. Now you go to your heart chakra. These are the green colors. The light green of gratitude and the dark green of humility. Now you look, this is the higher, this is the center of the higher emotions. Love, care, listen to music, our hearts lift up. The higher emotions. So what does it say? Religion. This is where religion sits. That religion that we love. When they sing in the church, when they're singing bhajans together, when we come in all those, I speak from my childhood, all that stained glass, the light is coming through it when you sit there. All this belongs to this higher emotion. Humility and gratitude. Now if you have a conversation with yourself in this space, this is the space in your body, okay? You have a conversation, very honest, you search, you look, you're silent to let it come up, not just to talk over it. And you see that when you have humility and gratitude, the gardens are youth. You don't get petrified and old in that sense. That is the start point. We talk about eternal youth. It's not just the fact that we want to look young. It's really that you don't get old and stuck. You don't get old and have to be right, because the world is newborn every single day. And your children are a new way that has come. And they will also show you the way as you show them the way. And the grandchildren, and the new generations. When you look here at humility and gratitude, and you talk with yourself about what does that mean in all these contexts of love and family and gender and religion, you will see that there is no opposition with this. They are bad habits, bad knowledge, which is actually dead already. You don't need to carry it. But fundamentalism is impossible in this case. But it might allow you to trace the belief systems you are still holding on to, and that you either need to be transcended or transformed or put in the compost paper. And when you do this, you are actually opening space in the universe. These things we are talking about have universal impact. You are not just contained in your body, you are a part of the whole. You are in oneness with everybody else. You see how it works on the quantum level. It moves in you, it moves in somebody else. It moves in somebody else, it helps you on the way else. We are one. Concretely, factually, we are one. So everything we shift moves out into the whole. It's not in isolation or isolation. Now we go to the navel chakra, solar plexus. This is Jaya, which is very apt with solar plexus now. It's the early morning sun. with aspiration, with perseverance. Perseverance, that sound where actually you can be walking in it easily, you can look right into it, it doesn't hurt you like that. It's very, very comfortable. And then you have the afternoon, not afternoon, the noon sound with aspiration, that flame. It's the soul. Perseverance and aspiration. What does this is the will that sits here. It's our will. The will sits here. The will is also identified with power. Okay? How do we use that will? How have we used it till now? We speak louder than others. We bully, we elbow, we suppress, we oppress. We use our will to be heard in that way. Now we are getting a very, very different message here. We are told that perseverance and aspiration is the way. Now aspiration, always we put our aspiration beyond the horizon. Why do we do that? Why do we put our aspiration where we can't see, where we don't know? Because there's no point to put it in the known. We know the known. We have to go beyond the known. There is something much greater there. This is what we have to aim for. We have to call the future in to help us. The future has to show us the way to the future. The past can't do that. Past has a lot of beauty in it. No question. There are things like when we looked at the development of the galaxy, there are truths which sits from the very, very beginning of the human evolution. And further back, from the start of evolution, beauty sits there. We see it in the beautiful crystals in the stone. Beauty like that shine light. We see it in the evolution of the plants, the flowers, the mammals, the fishes, the little crabs. Wherever you look, you will see beauty. It is there from the beginning. It's an essential part of all the creation, and very much so the new creation. So you look beyond the horizon. You aim for what you do not know and you cannot see, but you aim for it in the highest light you can conceive. And then you simply persevere. You do what is in front of you. Whatever your inner guide moves to it. Sometimes it's so small, such small steps. Sometimes it looks like a step back. A step back. We see it as a failure, but maybe you know, maybe it is just to firm the foundation up and make it stronger. Maybe there are no mistakes. Maybe there are just things which has to be done again and again to make them really strong and solid, so that that foundation will hold when the earthquake never comes, if it comes. The foundation needs to be strong. We are doing some very big work. So here is the space. Perseverance and aspiration. Perseverance, the garden is perfection. The garden of perfection is the garden which is connected to the petal of perseverance. And the garden which is connected to aspiration is the garden of existence. And we know that in existence, from its very inception, aspiration is what has been driving the evolution. Longing. The light has involved itself in the deepest darkness to be able to be there and facilitate this longing towards the light. And we have gone a very, very long way. And we can look back at the beings at any point in time who has been moving this evolution forward by their aspiration. We literally have, if we would put it like skeletons of beings behind us in a long, 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 long row. Further we will see that there is like a torchlight, the light shining right through all these beings, all the way up to where we are now, in this world. So, we need to talk with ourselves about what does it mean for me, aspiration and perseverance. How do I apply this? How do I learn to stop being smart, doing, listening, all these things comes in. And we don't have to be perfect. It's okay just to keep on trying. Then we go to the lower belly. This is orange color. And it's very interesting because the orange color in India is called blue, one of the oranges, actually the terracotta. So you have the bright orange, which is receptivity, and you have the terracotta, which is progress. And here we have progress not as a fear, but as a tool, as a power of manifestation. This part is where we generally say our lower vital is. The lower vital has a lot of stuff. It has strength. We need a strength. If the vital is empty, we can't do anything. The vital is a part, it's the life force. It's very important. And it's also in the mire of greed and need and desire, and all those things are very, very strong here. It's literally with our demons are there. Right? So now, this conversation, this was my first conversation with the chakras, this one. And it was the conversation which opened up all the other conversations and the whole way of looking at it like this. It was because I was in a situation in a healing session, and an orange stone I had put in this place. And somehow this conversation emerged from that point. And what came was the first time when I was not fighting my tendencies, but I was talking with them from my anger. I want to do this. I want you to shift. I want you to have a conversion. And you have to understand, I'm talking with these parts of myself, that the mother has said, all are my children, the asuras also. But you have to surrender. And this time, there is not something about this one's God's getting the Amrita and not the asuras. She is everybody's mother. But you need to have a conversion. You need to surrender to her. After a few conversations like this, very different than fighting yourself, to work with yourself, with your different parts, darker ones, lighter ones, whatever. But they are in you, and you work with them. Is there something which is so dead that it has to go? There are things like that. There are habits which have to be gone. But you look at it, and you take time, and you talk about it. Argue maybe, whatever. But it's there in you, you are speaking with yourself, because everything is in you. And every capacity is in you. And every default is in you too. That's why you can change it, because it is in you. If somebody else has it, you have it too, because you're a human being. If you have it, others have it too. No need to feel so ashamed and terrible. Not a big deal. We all have it. Let's work on it. Let's change it together. Individually, together. Because what we change individually will shift the collective situation. It will shift in direct meeting, and it will shift in fractals, because it works on new systems are coming. Then we go, I didn't tell you, the two gardens here are the gardens of consciousness and bliss. So you see, and the qualities are receptivity and progress. So you can really actually make a promise. This is about consciousness and bliss, exactly. exactly what everything is looking for. Happiness, joy. It is there. This is what we're working with here. Then you go to the base chakra, first chakra, your perineum. And I don't know, many of you have been reading much from Mother, but in her, I don't know, last 10 years or how long, she was speaking with Satpram, met him regularly. He taped the conversations, and from them he created a series, I think 13 books, called the Mother's Agenda. These are all his conversations with her and her speaking. And as you move through the agenda, you come into that she's working with the physical transformation. And it is very, very interesting to read about. And she talks about the light in the sense and the consciousness. And when we come to the physical chakra, because that is the physical body, the lowest chakra, the qualities of courage and goodness. Our body is based in courage and goodness. We treat it like a donkey. We expect this to carry us and stand and do all the things. We feed it whatever. All of these things. That body is so precious. The body is the one place where you can make change. When you don't have a body, that is not. Progress happens in the body. Body is super precious. Mother talks about the transformation of the body, transformation of the cells, light in the cells. So, the two qualities are courage and goodness. We are not bad. Goodness is fundamental in us. Courage is also fundamental in us. We need to learn to come close to that courage. And the fields of consciousness is life and light. This is what is in the body. That's why in the integral yoga, Sri Aurobindo talks about the whole way. It's not just the consciousness, it's not getting out in nirvana meditation. It is the whole body. It is karma yoga, it is jnana yoga, it is bhakti yoga. All the fields are working. The physical, the vital, the mental, the emotional. All of it we work with. There is nothing we push to the side. A dead weight which has no life and purpose, we let go. It's something amazing. And I can tell you when it comes to the body, that when you work with the colors inside, and you come to the red color, which is connected to this chakra, you feel your whole body. There is nothing in your body you cannot connect with. It's a living organism, and it serves you so amazingly. Lots of gratitude to the body for what it does, to the life force in us, which holds us and moves us. Okay? To the emotions, which enables us to feel and to know by feeling, and all the different kind of touch and senses now, and the mental. The mental enables us to actually collaborate with the divine. That opening, that capacity for change, consciousness. Mind is not the last stage. We're working now with the intuitive, with the higher mind, and we want to bring down the supramental. So that is there. But still, there's a lot of gratitude because this has enabled us to sit here today and do what we are doing, and to feel that actually we can collaborate with the divine consciousness. We can be instruments. That has been implanted in us. It's not that we are masters over nature. It's that actually we are collaborators in the most amazing, beautiful adventure. I am in the adventure. I'm full of all possibilities. No limit. No limits. It is infinite. When you do this by yourself, you can do just one chakra at a time. Will you take your time? When I do it by myself, it usually takes 1.5 hours. When I come out of these sessions, I always feel like I have had a shower or a bath. I feel so refreshed in body. Take time. You are alone, you do it. You wake up in the morning, you have some time before you have to start tomorrow, you can do it. It's a very, very good tool. When you want to start to move without a second, go and do like yesterday. Take a flower card. I put also this little bundles of paper. Maybe we need to divide them more and divide them up a bit. And you take a pen, you read your flower card, and you write down just a word or a sentence. How it speaks to you. What is the message you get? Just a word or a sentence. Nothing big. You can make a little drawing also if you want. Just do that one thing for yourself. Because that will anchor it inside you also. And you can take a photo of the flower to the text, but you need to leave the flowers back because it's a static here. And it can be used often. So thank you very, very much. Now you can see how you wake up.